Hi guys, Ray here. Welcome back to Flat as Fast, this time stage 4, range 1, so I'm doing the 390 to 510, because before this I think my racing score was 477 I think. So it's in France, I'm not going to try and pronounce that, but 24k, 133 metres per lap. It's kind of one climb in that is the Aqueduct KOM, it's not exactly taxing. What I did do was forgot to press record, so I pressed record just as we got out the pen. So this was quite an early morning, 6:10 in the morning start, because I had quite a busy day at work, so I tried to fit it in. And you notice there's only 5 riders in this, so I was quite content with that. So, like I just mentioned, 5 riders in this. So I think the tactics for this race is slightly different than what I would have on the normal bunches. This first part is just a few rollers and stuff like that, and we just expect to stay together. But it's pretty evident early on that everyone kind of wants to stay together. The pace is relatively slow. You would normally, this is in the old money, this would be a B race. So this would be 3.2 watts per kilo to 4.2 watts per kilo. So you'd kind of think it would be in the kind of mid 3 watts per kilo range. But I find myself at times just sitting at kind of 2.5, which means no one wants to work. So kind of content just sitting in for the time being on these few rollers. So I did mention this is stage 4, so I've done the other 3 stages beforehand, and I've managed to podium on all 3. So I've had 2 second places and a 3rd place, and if you watch my previous video you'll see that I was beat by an absolute rocket in the last 200 metres. So this, with small numbers, feeling quietly confident in this group. I didn't check anybody else's stats out on Z-Race beforehand. I just seen that it was quite a small number, and with that comes the fact that breakaways are a little bit more prevalent on this, because there's not such a big group to chase down. But also, if everyone's kind of sitting at kind of a low pace, I think some of these were maybe considering just rolling up to the line together and then having a brunch sprint at the end. So there is a couple of times in this race, this Japanese guy, Kuma, kind of goes to the front and tries to ride away from us. But it's, like I say, it's these Flat as Fast series races are really hard to kind of get away when there's a big group. So I think the terrain didn't really lend itself to when he was trying to ride away from us. And he's still trying to get up to 4 and 5 watts per kilo, but we're nullifying that pretty quickly. But again, no one's really punching out big numbers. Everyone's kind of sitting in nice and pretty and enjoying it. So one of the reasons I wanted to get this in early as well today, rather than doing this on the evening, is this is also the course for the Zwift Racing League round 3 on a Tuesday night. So tomorrow night I'll be racing this, and definitely a larger pack, but I was hoping that this was just going to be nice and gentle and a bit of a recon. So as you see, went through one of the banners there, and I got the feather power up. I think you pretty much know when that's coming, since there's only really one climb in here. It's the Aqueduct climb, so I'm going to save that power up till I get to the Aqueduct climb. So as we're progressing towards the climb, I am really considering making a move later on to maybe try and break this pack up, but we're barely hitting 3 watts per kilo, so I can see how everyone's maybe waiting for a big surge on the climb. Maybe some climbers in this group, or it could be down to a bunch sprint. Since this is early in the morning and I'm only fueled on coffee and crumpets, I've seen the climbing portal come up, and everyone's kind of just sitting in and around, and I thought, do you know what, I'm just going to go for it. It is quite a long way out, it's 13k out, but I'm going to save me power up till a little bit later in the climb, and I'm just going to push big numbers just to try and get away. And straight away I've got a 5 second, 6 second gap within the first couple of seconds, so no one's really tried to chase me down. I then use the power up on that second bit of the climb, and the idea really now is an individual time trial, just try and get some kind of gap away from them that is sustainable, that I can just tempo the rest of the ride in. I think one of the big things when I go under the banner here, and I'll say this to anyone, is just don't give up once you get to the top, because a lot of people, depend on how heavy they are, could use the downhill to get back on. So as soon as I've hit the downhill, I've attacked again, and just trying to keep the pace high, and straight away I've got a 10-second gap on them, and I can maybe try and build on that and see if I can build out a big enough lead that I can maybe tempo in and around 3 watts per kilo for the remainder of the race. It didn't seem like anyone was interested in trying to chase me down. I was wondering if they just thought that I'd maybe burn out because of how big it is, but no, I just carried on going under the banner again. This time I got the draft, so I'll keep that for a little bit later on if I need it. So I try to get as big a gap as possible, just to try and give me a bit of a buffer for later on, because now that I'm TTing away, I'm kind of keeping it just under 4 watts per kilo most of the time. And I really actually start thinking about tomorrow night more than anything else, because I don't want to do too big of an effort today and knowing I've got to race this again tomorrow. But it just kind of gives me a good idea what the parkour is for tomorrow's race. And with 5k to go, I've got a 24-second gap, so I do really kind of ease off a little bit, because there's no point in burning matches today if I've got another race tomorrow. I was really frustrated with how slow the pace was at the beginning, but actually it's probably paid off a little bit better for me. So I kind of wish I'd done this race yesterday, or wish this race was yesterday, because it was my birthday yesterday. I was 42, so it would have been nice to have a win on my birthday, but the day after, I'll take that. And I just cruise in now. I do ease off quite a bit, and they start bringing the gap back in. They're not particularly working that hard, but I'm easing off more than anything else, and they get down to about 6 seconds. 5-6 seconds for the next individual, but that was a good workout. It was good that I didn't take it down to a bunch sprint for a change. Used a bit of race knowledge and thought, do you know what, I'm just going to go for it. Thanks for watching, guys. See you on the next one.